I was part of setting up a counselling service for a local mind, and I know what you need to do to set up a counselling service. There is a lot of safeguards, policies and procedures, infrastructure in place to safeguard not just the patients and the clients, but also the counsellors, the people who are therapists and the people who have more knowledge and understanding around mental ill health and safeguarding than anyone. And one of the ways that this is done is kind of through a triage process and through understanding who your counsellors are. So, for example, a triage process helps us to figure out, why is this client coming for support? If that client is coming to talk about domestic violence and abuse, you are not going to match them with your therapist who has said, look, I don't do domestic violence and abuse. It's too close. It's too raw for me. But in the workplace, when we say, come and talk to us about mental health, you are opening the door to people coming and talking about anything connected to our mental health. And there is no triage, there's no safeguards in place. So one of the ways that we work with organisations to implement this part of safeguarding people around kind of preventing vicarious trauma and re-triggering people into potential relapses is we say there's a couple of things. One of the things is about how you market the service. So we talk about, so remember all those people out in the car park? We talk about our infrastructure and blueprint is actually about creating them a lovely building. It's got a roof on it, which means it's protected from policies, procedures, guidance on actually how to function this service, how to review it, how to keep it safe. It has lovely windows that are transparent, so you can actually see into the service. You know exactly what them people are there for. You know exactly what confidentiality means. You know exactly that somebody can breach confidentiality if there's a safeguarding risk. A lot of organisations don't have safeguarding policies and procedures in place or trained in understanding what this means, yet they'll have hundreds of mental health first aiders kind of walking around, either potentially missing safeguarding opportunities, or there is a potential greater risk that if it's the worst that can happen, a life is lost due to the risk of suicide and it hasn't been managed appropriately. So this is a really important part of creating this safe environment for your mental health first aiders, or we like to call them mental health advocates, because it's more of an advocate role the way we train them. This really is about providing the safety for them to practice safely, so they're providing a service safely for them as well as for the people who they're going to be potentially listening to.